Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during the video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be smoking a cigarette next to a World War II battleship. In specific, today I'm going to be smoking a cigarette next to the USS North Carolina, which is a battleship that served in the Pacific during World War II and is now a floating museum in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I don't really know much about battleships, and I don't really know much about the history of the USS North Carolina in specific, but I do know that it's a very cool thing to smoke a cigarette next to a World War II battleship. And so as such, while I certainly am very excited to make this video today and to smoke one of my Lucky Strike Origins Blue Bright cigarettes from Mexico next to this World War II battleship right here, the USS North Carolina. Now, there is a little bit of a pier that goes all the way around the battleship, as we can see. Sadly, on the sign that says like walkway, pier, rules and whatnot kind of thing, it does specifically say that I'm not allowed to smoke on the walkway, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think my plan for today's video is to smoke a cigarette just about right here. I'm still pretty much right next to the battleship, in all honesty. So I'm gonna smoke a cigarette right here, and then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and walk around the walkway. I'm gonna go ahead and walk around the pier, and I'm gonna show you guys what the USS North Carolina, what the World War II battleship right behind me actually looks like in full and everything like that. And as a whole, I certainly am looking forward to this video today, and I certainly am looking forward to having this experience today, much more so than not. But I do suppose, without further ado, I should probably go ahead and get my pack of Lucky Strike Origins Blue Bright cigarettes from Mexico all opened up now, shouldn't I? So let's go ahead and get that pack all opened up. Let's go ahead and get one of my cigarettes all out just like that. And now let's go ahead and get my lighter out of my pocket. Of course, the Zippo won the war, so of course I'm going to be lighting my Lucky Strike with a Zippo today. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get this cigarette right here all lit up, and let's go ahead and get to smoking a cigarette next to a World War II battleship. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Although, I might have to put my camera down because it is a bit breezy. It is a little bit breezy, so let's go and just put that down just for a moment and go ahead and try again. Yes sir, you know what I'm saying. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Now, the USS North Carolina is a floating museum, as said, and you can go on the USS North Carolina. You got to pay like 15 bucks, but honestly, totally reasonable fee to pay to help them maintain it and everything like that kind of thing. If I had time and if I wanted to go on the boat today, I certainly would, but it's almost closing time for the boat, so I'm not going to be paying the $15 to actually go on it today, nor am I sure if they would actually let me smoke a cigarette on it, although that would be a huge baller move if I do say so myself. But man, let me tell y'all what, it looks just so dang cool. There's a little bit of a, I think that's a Corsair up there. It's a Corsair hydroplane, I want to say. Looks absolutely fantastic. A little bit of a crane, bunch of turrets and everything like that. Oh man, it just looks so dang cool. This is a very good spot to smoke a cigarette, to say the least, especially a Lucky Strike that was lit with a Zippo lighter. Ooh, certainly no complaints on my behalf, y'all. It is very big though. I'm sure by modern standards, this battleship is actually pretty small, but I mean, like, it's still like huge. It's still absolutely massive, just in-person kind of thing. It really is huge, and I really don't think the camera does this battleship justice. It really is just absolutely massive, to say the least. And it just looks, oh man, so dang cool, so dang cool. If I remember correctly, I think the Corsair on the boat, I just read over the Wikipedia page for it really quickly, but if I remember correctly, I think the Corsair on the USS North Carolina, it's not original to the USS North Carolina, I want to say it was like salvaged in Canada or something like that kind of thing. I might be wrong. Do take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not an expert on the history of the USS North Carolina by any means, but I certainly am enjoying smoking a cigarette next to it. Oh man, so dang cool, so dang cool. Glad to be here, glad to be smoking a cigarette next to the USS North Carolina, next to a World War II battleship. This is a good spot. I'm enjoying my smoke right now. I'm getting a little bit of a buzz right now. I'm having a good time. Now, do they have a little bit of a trash can or something like that? I'm not seeing a trash can, so I'm just going to be throwing my cigarette butt in my pocket while I'm walking around and everything like that kind of thing. Ain't no biggie, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no biggie at all. There's a little bit of a helicopter going over there. Man, though, just looks so dang cool. I love like old machines. I love old cars. I love old trains, old boats. While I might not know a lot about them, they're still really dang cool, and I love to take a look at them. And I remember when I went on the USS North Carolina when I was younger, I had a great time. It was fantastic. You can like walk around the entire boat, take a look at like the crew quarters and stuff like that kind of thing. I don't know if they have any cigarettes on display. I've heard some like World War II museum boats do have like cigarettes that like the sailors would have smoked on the boat at that time. I do think that some of them have them on display. I don't know if this one does, but either way, it's still super dang cool. Well, I think I have one more hit of my cigarette left. I'm gonna go ahead and stub this cigarette out on the ground, just like that. Make sure it's all out. Stub it out and everything like that kind of thing. Can't be causing no ship fires today or nothing like that kind of thing. Do not want to cause the USS North Carolina to catch on fire by any means. That would be pretty bad. We'd be losing a national monument. I don't think it's actually considered a national monument, but we'd be losing a national monument nonetheless. But now that I have finished off my cigarette, now that I've finished smoking a cigarette next to a World War II battleship, I think it's now time for me to go ahead and put this cigarette butt in my breast pocket just right there, just so I don't be littering. And now I think it's time for me to go ahead and start walking around the walkway, the pier that they have, and show y'all what it looks like as a whole from a 360-degree angle, almost. Not quite, because there is this building in the way, but let's start walking, y'all. We can see the rules right there. Sadly, it does say no smoking, no vaping right there. That is what it is. A lot of times when there's those sorts of signs, I'm just like, I'm just not going to listen kind of thing, but, you know, I really don't want to get kicked out of here. I really want to show y'all this boat and everything like that kind of thing. So, gonna be following the rules today. This is like the one time I'm gonna be following the rules. And here it is, y'all. Oh man, it is so big. It is massive. Just absolutely huge. And taking a look at the Corsair up there. I think that's Corsair. Don't quote me on that. I used to know a lot more about like World War II planes than I do now. I was really big into researching like World War II planes when I was in like middle school and high school. I think that's a Corsair if I remember correctly. I think that's what I read online. Super cool though. Looking at the turrets. It just says North Carolina right there as well. Oh wow, and this walkway is very long. I'm just now realizing that. A little bit of a sort of like scaffolding right there. I guess they're doing some repainting or something like that kind of thing. And we can see, this is a really good view of it right here. But we can see that it does indeed have like some camouflage. It's like got like dark, almost like sea blue right there, and then like some lighter gray, and then like some more dark, like sort of gray blue down there, and everything like that kind of thing. So this boat is a little bit camouflaged. Very cool if I do say so myself. Sadly, the turrets do indeed have caps on the end of them, but you know, hey, I will take what I can get. It's a turret, and as long as the turret's still there, I am happy. It is very bright though. I should have brought a hat with me today. Oh my goodness. But man, oh man, so dang cool. So dang cool, y'all. I love it. I love it. What can I say? So I think this battleship was decommissioned sometime right after World War II, if I remember correctly, and then it just kind of sat around. But it just kind of sat around after World War II for a while until I think it was 1960 when it was designated to become a floating museum, if I remember correctly. Super cool. Oh man, it really is. It's massive. It really is just huge. Oh, they got the Dasani vending machine. Oh, too bad it's Dasani. I hate Dasani. But they got a vending machine on there. That's wow, they had Dasani vending machines on the USS North Carolina in like 1943. That's wild. That's wild. I didn't realize they had Dasani vending machines back then, but that is really cool if I do say so myself. I wonder if the interior of the ship has AC. I bet it doesn't. Oh man, I don't know. It's like 93 degrees right now, I want to say. That's what the car was saying when I was pulling up here. I don't know if I'd want to get in the ship and it not have AC right now. I don't know if I would want to get in the ship right now, frankly, but lots of turrets. Lots of anti-aircraft. Good moves on that one. I wonder if you can play as this ship in like World of Warships or War Thunder. Not sponsored, but World of Warship and War Thunder sponsorships are like hilarious. Wonder if you could play as this boat though. That would be pretty cool. Pull up my computer over here. Play War Thunder as the USS North Carolina next to the USS North Carolina. Now that would be a baller move. More anti-aircraft, more turrets over here. So I guess the really big ones would be like anti-ship, and the smaller ones like on the side and stuff, I guess that would be more like anti-aircraft and whatnot. With the really small one being, I guess, also anti-aircraft. There's like a bunch of machine guns and stuff up there at the very, I don't know, was this the, I guess that's the front and that would be the end, right? I'm not sure, but I feel like the stairs, I feel like it's probably, no, because that's facing that way. I'm honestly not sure. It's probably, this is probably the front of it, because also the plane is back there with the crane and stuff, so you know, this is probably the front of it. And also there's like more turrets up here than there is on the back. So you know, this is the front of the boat, and that's the back of the boat. I was thinking that was the front, but no, that's the back. I think I'm gonna have to grab myself a screenshot once we get to the front of the boat. Gonna have a cigarette in my mouth, but not gonna get it lit. I can have a cigarette in my mouth on this boardwalk, but I can't get it lit. It says no smoking. So as long as I'm not smoking this cigarette, I'm allowed to have a cigarette in my mouth. Oh, Coca-Cola and Dasani vending, man, they had Coca-Cola and Dasani vending machines like in 1943, bro. Bro, that is wild. I had no idea that they had Coca-Cola and Dasani vending machines in 1943 on the boats themselves. That's wild. Almost the whole boat in frame, almost the whole battleship in frame. I keep saying boat. Like, boat is an understatement. It really is. Like, I feel like I'm insulting it by saying boat. I really shouldn't be saying boat. It's a battleship. Saying boat makes it sound a lot less badass than it is. This boat, this battleship is so badass. Oh man. Is it all in frame now? Oh man, I don't even think it's still in frame. I don't think it's all in frame still. Is it all in frame? Okay, it's all in frame like that. Oh man, that is so damn cool. So damn cool to say the least. Well, I think this is a good spot to try to grab myself a little bit of a screenshot. I was thinking about putting my thing right here on this pole, but that seems like a bad idea. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put this down just like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to grab myself a little bit of a screenshot with my phone just real quick. I do think. Oh man, I'm still not able to get the entire boat in. I'm still not able to get the entire battleship in. I need to walk up even further. Oh man, my phone does not have nearly enough of a wide angle lens. This thing is massive, it's huge. I love it. It is so sick, and it's moored like right over there in the bushes. Ah, super cool. All right, is this spot gonna work? Let's see. Oh man. It's still, oh man, I gotta walk up further. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. I'm gonna have to get like literally just right there. Let's try it again. No, I'm literally gonna have to get like almost right in front of it. I don't know how I'm gonna grab a photo of me with it. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it. This is a challenge. This is such a challenge. All right. I'm gonna keep at it. I'm gonna keep walking and see if I can get a better spot for a screenshot, because man, it's so huge. Oh man, it's so cool. Giant ass anchor, giant anchor. That's what I'm saying. I might try to grab myself a screenshot right here with this camera. Might try to do that. Now, the ultimate cigarette to have at this battleship would be, in my personal opinion, a Camel unfiltered or a Lucky Strike unfiltered. I'm just happy I have a Lucky Strike with me today, but a Lucky Strike unfiltered or a Camel unfiltered would be really cool too. I think that'll hopefully do for a screenshot. We will find out. I'm gonna go and put this cigarette back in my pocket. And now, I think it's time for me to go ahead and walk back over there. And I think it's time for me to go ahead and maybe smoke my other cigarette that I got out. I think I might have to do that. Smoke another cigarette next to a World War II battleship. Be a big baller move if I do say so myself. Apparently, this place has started flooding a little bit more so than not. We can see the water line is like it's only like a foot below where the building is and everything like that. So apparently this place like floods like 20 times during the year, every year since 2017. So they're currently working on like a flood prevention project, which makes sense. So that's what all the construction is over there. So I guess on the side that's numbers of hits, I think. I'm not sure. So they got all like the metals of the boat, and then they got like everything they destroyed. So I think it's like, if I'm reading that correctly, I think it's right there. It's like one boat and then a bunch of planes. I think, if I'm reading that correctly. Oh no, the gate is closed on this side. Did they close it? Oh no, wait, do I have to walk all the way back around? Oh no, wait. Oh wait, I didn't realize. Oh. 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 Oh no. Oh no, I gotta walk all the way around. Well, we walking all the way around. I didn't realize that this side was closed off. Whoopsies. I wonder how deep the water is though. Like, I wonder, okay, well there's like a little gauge right there, I think it says. It's got like 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I guess it's like how much water is above the bow? I don't know if saying bow is the right thing, but so that's 8 down there. So I guess it's like at least 7 foot underwater. I wonder if it's resting on the bottom or if it's actually floating. I assume it's actually floating because it's generally not good to have boats resting on the bottom, but I'm not sure. Maybe this one is, it's not really like they move it very much, so I'm not sure. I think this thing's almost 100 years old. Still looks great. And those turrets, badass. Badass turrets, bruh. That Corsair all the way on the back, badass as well. Smoking a cigarette next to a World War II battleship, badass. Smoking a cigarette next to, in specific, the USS North Carolina, badass. Super duper badass. Oh, excuse me, I just burped. It wasn't a very good burp. It was like very mid. There it is in its entirety. Oh man, so good. Try to grab another little bit of a screenshot real quick. I do think it is now time for me to go ahead and walk off the walkway, the boardwalk, whatever you want to call it, the pier. And then after that, I think it's time for me to go ahead and smoke another cigarette next to a World War II battleship, next to the USS North Carolina in specific. Well, now that I'm off the boardwalk, as we can see, I'm gonna get my cigarette all out, and let's go ahead. Oh, I just stepped on the grass and almost fell down. No, didn't almost fall down, but lost my footing for a second there. And I think it's now time for me to go ahead and get back to smoking, y'all. Let's go and get my cigarette all lit up, though. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying? Oh, just sitting down on this bench. It's quite warm. And smoking a cigarette, looking at a World War II battleship. Good times, good times. Great view, great spot to smoke a cigarette. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. There's a giant mosquito going after me. Just actually got it with my foot, surprisingly enough. It was huge. The mosquito was probably the biggest one I've seen in a minute. It was going after my legs, so I had to smack it. But, you know, if y'all want to see a cool-ass World War II battleship and y'all are on the way up north from like Florida or something like that kind of thing, or y'all live in North Carolina, come check out the USS North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina. Come check it out, you know what I'm saying? It's $15 to actually go on the boat. They say it takes about 2.5 hours to go through the boat, plus you can walk around it on the pier and whatnot. If you don't want to spend any money, you can just come to this little bit of park right here. This is a park that I'm standing in right now, and you can also walk around the walkway, the waterway, the pier, whatever you want to call it, the boardwalk, 100% for free. So if you don't want to spend any money, that's a good way to enjoy this boat right here. Highly recommend, you know what I'm saying? Highly recommend stopping by. It's a good spot to smoke a cigarette, I can confirm. Would be a better spot to smoke a cigarette if it wasn't so hot, but you know, I can't have my cake and eat it too. I am already smoking a cigarette next to a World War II battleship. I should be happy with what I got, and I certainly am happy with what I got. I can't complain, what can I say? So cool. So cool. Absolutely goated smoke spot. Where else? Where else can you smoke a cigarette next to a World War II battleship? Probably other floating museums, but not too many other places. Not too many other places. Now, as I said, I don't know if you can actually smoke a cigarette on the battleship itself. Probably not if I had to guess. But that would be a pretty baller move if you could. Well, I'm almost done with my cigarette. And since I'm almost done with my cigarette, I think I'm almost done with the video as well. I'm going to take my last hit with it in the background. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I smoked a cigarette next to a World War II battleship, next to the USS North Carolina in specific. If you guys haven't, if you got more just a little bit jumbled up, I'm going to throw my cigarette butt away after this video. Just throw it in my breast pocket once again. But if you guys have enjoyed, and oh man, I'm getting more jumbled up. I think the heat is getting to me just a little bit. Also, lack of water. I haven't had any water in the last 30 minutes or so. But certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video today where I smoked a cigarette next to a World War II battleship next to the USS North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina, to be precise. Certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video where I smoked a cigarette next to this battleship right here and walked around as well. If you guys have indeed enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content, and also make sure to let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the USS North Carolina, if you guys have visited before, and just what you guys think of it as a whole, if you guys even haven't visited before, just based off this video or based off what you've read online. Thank you so much for watching this video. As said, though, make sure to like and subscribe, as previously said, and also make sure to check out everything in the description down below. I've got my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my second channel all down there. Go check it all out. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Till the next one, stay safe and peace, and have a great one. Yes, sir, you know what I'm saying?